revising briefly all first six chapters, and then maybe I'm thinking he will go a little deep into the next six chapters. And we are all blessed, sir, to come and assemble again in this online mode. And as uh, I forgot his name, the
Anand,
organizer's
Anand,
name.
Anand Desai.
Anand. Anand. So whatever Anand ji has thought of and organized, it is very much needed for the present hour. Many people are actually down, as if modern Arjunas are all sick, sick in the mind. And we need a Krishna, and we see that Krishna in you, Acharya ji. So thank you so much, and we look forward for your lectures.
Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Let us start with Bhagavad Gita Dhyana Shloka. Sarvopaniषदो गावः सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. We are here to taste that nectar. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, a totally blossomed flower where there are many, many innumerable petals, petals of yoga, 18 petals of yoga. So every chapter is prefixed with yoga, yoga shastre, Krishna Arjuna Samvade. So these petals we must take as Krishna Prasada now. So the first Prasada is Vishada Yoga. That is the first petal of this totally blossomed Bhagavad Gita lotus flower. See, very interesting. Metaphorically, we can understand it. So, in this Vishada Yoga, every yoga, we can find out master keywords. And a great spiritual master from Himalayan order, from the Kailasa Ashrama on the bank of Pavitra Ganga, Maheshanandaji Maharaj, he contributed a unique Bhagavad Gita, Ashtadasha Shloki Bhagavad Gita. That is what he called. There, from each Adhyaya, he selected a verse which will be like a Nayaka Mani. In Sanskrit, the Nayaka Mani means that gem which is fixed in the middle of that garland, Rudrakshamala or whatever you can say. There, one important gem will be fixed. That is called Nayaka Mani. So, he selected a shloka, a verse, as Nayaka Mani, major guiding master keyword. That is why he named it after 18th Ashtadashadhyayi Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is how we can make it easily understandable to the modern minds. instead of going verbatim, taking every shloka and giving summary to it takes so much time also. And that type of study, it is very much important, very much insightful. But for our convenience and for our readers here, our listeners, our participants here, we go selecting some master keywords, not key slokas, so that it will be easily understandable. So the first petal in the first chapter, it is Jati Dharma, Kula Dharma. These two words are very, very important. Partha considers this Jati Dharma and Kula Dharma as Shashvata, eternal, perennial, permanent values. That is where he erred. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಥ ಅಪಾರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ. ಪಾರ್ಥ ಅಪಾರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಮೊದಲು ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಪಾರ್ಥಗಳ ಸರಣಿಯೇ ಆರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಿಂದಲೇ. ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಕುರುಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಸಮವೇತ ಯುಯುತ್ಸವ. ಹೇಗೆ, ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಡಾಕ್ಸಿಕಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. In Dharma Kshetra, even ordinary people like you and I also go with very deep sense of devotion, with deep sense of surrender to that deity God. When we go to any pilgrimage places like Ganga Yamuna Sangama or Rishikesh Haridwar or Badri Kedar somewhere, but this great emperor of Chandravamsha, he is so externally, internally blind. ಒಳ ಹೊರ ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆಗೂ ಅವನು ಕುರುಡನಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ಇದೇ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ನಮ್ದು ಕೂಡ, ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗಾಂಧಾರಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ. ಇರಲಿ, ಅವನಿಗೇನೋ ಪಾಪ ಅವನ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಕರ್ಮದಿಂದ, ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ವಾಸ್ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್, inborn blind. Okay. But his life companion, when she has to support her husband, Gandhari, she must open her eyes, both outer and inner eyes. But she was in so much heap of ignorance that blindly following blindness of her husband, she just covered even her skin eye, outer eye also, by some cloth permanently, so that how can he so much misguided by ignorance can help and serve her husband and help him. That is why always Kunti was helping both of them. That is what Mahabharata says. Okay. However, both eyes to be opened. That is what the problem there. When we close our eyes, both internal and outer, every time our life will be full of sangharsha, full of scrabbling, full of struggle. When the external eye is blind, we cannot move freely on the surface. When internal eye is closed, totally we are blind. And we always misunderstand everything. Our objectivity will disappear. And every good things we consider as bad, and mind will be negatively charged, so that whole journey, life journey, becomes full of agony, full of pathos, full of struggle, full of downfall. That is what happened, That is one type of Vishada of Dhritarashtra. With that Vishada, Bhagavad Gita starts. Dhritarashtra's Vishada. And another Vishada, it is Partha's Apartha. Misunderstanding. Though he was so highly learned, great disciple of great master of that time, well versed in both Shastra and Shastra. See, understand, please. That type of man, ಮೂರು ಲೋಕದ ಏನು ಗಂಡ, ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಂಡೀವ ಹಿಡಿದಂತಹ ಮಹಾಪರಾಕ್ರಮಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ರಣರಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾದ? ವಿಷೀದಂತಮಿದಂ ವಚಃ ಗಾಂಡೀವಂ ಸ್ರಂಸತೆ ಹಸ್ತಾತ್ ತ್ವಕ್ತೈವ ಪರಿದಹ್ಯತೆ ನ ಚ ಶಕ್ನೋಮ್ಯವಸ್ಥಾತುಂ ಭ್ರಮತೀವ ಚ ಮೇ ಮನಃ. ತಲೆ ಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಪಾರ್ಥನಿಗೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಂತಹ ಮಹಾಪರಾಕ್ರಮಿಗೆ. We also are in that type of stage, I think, now in Vishada. Karpanya doshopahata swabhava. All these problems we are facing now. Okay. For that, only thing is we have to open our internal and external eyes. And when we close our eyes, we will be totally under the grips of misunderstanding and misconceptions and prejudices. So that every time Jati Dharma, Kul Dharma, Jati Dharma, Kul Dharma, that type of ego complex will be troubling us. It's the same problem. These so-called modern psychologists also became victim to that. So someone feels that whatever happens for that, that is only karma is the main guiding principle for human life. That is what he is drawn the last ultimate decision. That is what Sigmund Freud has done that. So with that notion and preconceived notion, he could write Psychosynthesis, which now so-called modern psychologists consider as their great Bible. Please understand. Like that, Sigmund Freud, Oscar Wilde, and so many. And in the first period only, I wanted to have this type of contrast. But here you see Krishna, after having made that psychoanalysis of Partha, Vishidantamidam vachaha, oh Vishada problem, it is haunting, and Karpanya dosha is haunting. Kaibhyam masmagam Partha, you are not understanding your own might, your own strength, merit. So this is called distorted image. ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಅರಿಯದ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ. ಈ ಅಪಾರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಥನು ಅನರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಕೊಂಡ. ಎಂಥ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. The first chapter I am just analyzing. Here we don't go for analysis, we go for synthesis. Though while describing his own positions, Arjuna goes on delivering a lecture and highlighting Jat Dharma, Kul Dharma, Kul Dharma, Jat Dharma. But now we must go for Sanatana Dharma, Vedika Dharma, that is what we call. So Bhagavan takes this thread. So Anartha Moolam Kim? Why this Partha is succumbs to this Anartha and Apartha? That you could understand. That is how we proceed further. That is called Prajnavada. There I just come to that point. That is why Krishna, once he started his deliberation, he is sharing with Parthasarathi with Partha. That very word, key word is Prajnavada. Prajnavada is too much logical, yeah. Too much negatively charged, yeah. Now, even in this position also, this so-called COVID and all this, they are more and more psychologically distorted psycho problems. No doubt, it is something, virus, everything. But now that main problem in every house, it is fear complex. Mania, phobia, syndrome, what they call, these so-called modern psychologists. Bhiti, chinkrobha. Chinte, krodha, bhaya. Chinkrobha. That is what Badukulu Kalidi, great Swamiji, our great Swami Jagadatmanji in his Badukulu Kalidi, he says like this. What is this problem of so-called modern Parthas? Because our friend, we are all modern Parthas, that is what he said, our Ananda and our Shivram. What is that problem of modern Partha? It is Chinkrobha. Chinta, Krodha, Bhaya. ತುಂಬ ಚಿಂತೆ ಶುರುವಾದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Small things also tempt us to become too much aggressive, too much attacking, proactive, and that will be expressed in words. So that chinta, and after that too much anger, and due to anger we behave in very disordered manner and scold someone, develop some type of enmity, hatred, rejection, and all these things, then afterwards we become victim to bhaya, fear. Oh, I just quarreled with that fellow and he may take revenge, this and that. That is how, that is why chinkrodha, chinta, chinta, chinta. Chinta is like chita. That is what Sanskrit Subhadra says. Chita means graveyard where bodies are burnt. That chita, more and more we are drowned in chinta. We dig our own grave. Yeah, grave, we go to a graveyard. That is our problem now. Chinta, chinta, chinta. And chinta, chim, krodha. Krodha, bhaya. And Partha also developed the same type of syndrome, so that because of that bhaya only, he wanted to escape from the warfield. Bhaikhyamapi haloke. See these type of things. Now, even so-called intellectuals, so-called professors, so-called educated people, working in different walks of life, in fields of life, whether they are lawyers, doctors, teachers, professors, deans, and CEOs, professors, all they are now in so much agony. That means now that Prajnavada is the hunting thing. Prajnavadamsta bhashase. That keyword you have to understand. In the second chapter, when we go to third chapter again, buddhi mohaya sivame, that is what Arjuna complains. You are talking something about jnana, sometime bhakti, sometime this, that. Oh, what I have to take seriously? Oh, Krishna, buddhi mohaya siva, tadekam vada nishchitya. This is another problem we have now. Because our understanding level becomes so low, when mind power is shattered into many pieces. Even that problem we notice there in the third chapter. Again, Krishna attends it. Then Karma Yoga comes there. Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga continues. There, the very master keyword is Yajna. Yajnarthat karmano nitra lokoyam karma bandhana. If that sense of yajna, if you don't develop, every work will be the binding factor. Our own work field, our own connectivity with many people, and our own scholarship, our own Shastra Vidya, everything becomes binding. That yajna drishti is important. Like that, we continue. Already this area very well, broadly, in a nutshell, it is attended in this book. 6 chapters we have already. Just we could make a broad journey. It is in English, so that for English readers only this is prepared. Now we take up the second Sangraha of 6 chapters. That is starting from 7th chapter. 6th chapter, very important because it is Dhyana Yoga. From that chapter only we have taken that Yoga Mantra for Yoga International celebration on 21st June. Now already we are waiting for that International Day. There, chapter number 6, shloka number 17, all readers please note it. Shloka is like that. Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yukta swapna ababodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Yogo bhavati dukkha. This is very good guidance for us now. Ahara yoga, Vihara yoga, Vyavahara yoga, Vichara yoga, and Bhavana yoga. These yogas, if we practice, we will be free from all type of Adhi and Vyadhi. That is the main problem for us. We have no yoga in Ahara. Vihara means our day-to-day activity from morning to evening. Ahara, Vihara, and Vyavahara also negatively charged, too much competitive, cutthroat competition everywhere. Vyavahara is so much negatively charged, so that emotion is disturbed. We have no emotional culture in our life system. Negativity is more hunting like a ghost, so that Bhavana yoga is not there. Vichara yoga also like that. Always we depend upon our social media and so many Twitter, Facebook, this, that, and whatever these so-called media say, that only we consider as true, Shashwata Satya. And we are totally misguided by those so-called medias. That is why Bhavana, Vichara, all are disturbed. So in yoga means it is not only pranayama and asana. These 5 aspects of our life must be yogic. This is called yoga mantra. And now we come to the real scriptural source for our Bhanavasariya Satsanga from 4 to 5 p.m. And now and then again I take even some summary from this book also, because many of you could not read this book. Now you can just be in touch with our Ananda or Shivaram. You can get copy of this book. There you can have very good Pakshinota, bird's eye view of all 6 chapters, starting from the first to 6. Now we go to the 7th chapter. Gradually we move to the Vishwarupa and Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter. In this particular text, it is called Tat Padartha Viveka, according to our Shankara Parampara. You know, Tvam Tat Asi. This is called Mahavakya in Vedanta tradition. Tattvamasi, it is in the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. Very interesting. There, that very chapter, that whole gamut of the text, it is addressed to a young man called Shvetaketu, son of Aruni. He represents our young minds of this time now. It is boiling and burning. Burning inside, boiling outside. That is what many, in every house now, we have this problem. Generation gap. So father, mother, they have their own choice, their own preferences, their own priorities. But their daughters and sons, they have their own choices. So that there will be conflict, struggle in American society. It is so much horrible. I just traveled there and I could see how much it is in every house. It is burning house due to this so-called generation gap. Parents, they can't understand their children's priorities. So that they, even for small, silly, insignificant things, there will be quarrel. Mother and daughter, father and mother, and father and son, grandfather, grandson will not be there. They will be in Vruddhashrama. So, what is this? Boiling and burning. Now we have to make our generation young, mid-aged, or old age people blossomed, bloomed. That is why I just gave an example of lotus now. So our mind is compared to Kamala. Yes, our upper chamber brain is called Sahasradala Padma in Yoga Shastra. Certainly, it is very good analogy. I think a good analogy. We can use it. So our this Sahasradala Padma, our Mastaka, it is to be blossomed. It is to be bloomed. It is to be positively recharged. For that, Bhagavad Gita gives wonderful food stuff to us. ಈ ಅಮೃತವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಸ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುನ್ನಡೀತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಈ 7ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದರೊಳಗಿಂದು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಗ ನೀವು ಆ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಡೀ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದಿನ ಸಲ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸರ್ಸ್ even to come with very good questions. I have given my own personal number also in that computer publication.
Image.
I have given time for that. Yeah. So every day from 9:30 to 10:30, you can talk to me. Only you people who participate in this, they are only authorized to ask questions, not anyone else. So in the light of my deliberation on this particular Sunday, you can ask some questions. That is how I arranged this also. Okay, I am very happy to welcome you all to this satsanga. Even you can bring your small copy of Bhagavad Gita, this one, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shloka Sahit, Artha Sahita, published by Gita Press Gorakhpur. It is available. You can just bring it. You can have with you. This copy you can have. So that whenever I refer to some shloka or some master keywords, you can just go and refer to it. So now, 7th chapter, main very much relevant master keyword is para and apara. This conflict we have to attend. We are apara, no doubt. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano ahankara iti emme bhinna prakritihi ashtadha. 8 type of prakriti. That is what makes our whole personality. Any small baby, when it comes to this earth from mother's womb, these 8 aspects structure its pindanda, its personality, its internal, external, or gross and subtle body. Bhumihi, apaha, analaha, vayuhu, kham, akasha, manaha, buddhihi, ahankara. Ahankara means it is ego sense. It is not egoism. Oh, I am. Not like that. Only I feeling. I am a devotee. I am a bhakta of Shiva, bhakta of Vishnu. I am a great scientist. I am a astika. I am very humble seeker. That itself is ahankara. Aham. Aham is not every time it is kacha. That is why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Pakka Ami, Kacha Ami. Ami means ahankara in Bengali. Pakka Ami means cultured ego. cultured I consciousness. Cultured I consciousness. ನಾನು ಇಂಥ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ, ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಿ ಬಾಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನನಗೆ ದೇವರು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇದ್ದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಅಹಂಕಾರ. That must be there. So external and internal bodies, that is what I am. With this name, by this structured body, this much height, weight, color, background, I am here now. I am a traveler. ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಯಾತ್ರಾರ್ಥಿ. ಈ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಧರಿಸಿ ಬಂದು ಈ ನಾಮರೂಪಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ I am a traveler with this form, name and fame and form. Okay. This is apara. And this apara, it must be plugged to. Apareyamatastvanyam prakritim. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidyame param jivabhutam mahavaho yayedam dharyate jagat. This is very important. Shloka number 4. Here, what is this? It is just like plugging. This is called plugging technique. When you feel that I am only this much, this name, this fame, this profession, male, female, this job, this much bank balance, if that just trivial understanding, this is called trivial, small considerations. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಳ್ಳತನ ಮಾಡೋನಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಕಳ್ಳ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಫುಲ್ ರಾಬರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಂತಾನು he feels. Even most all Ravanas, Kichikas, all Shimbas, all Raktabija Asuras, now they also feel I am very much great warrior, great fighter. I can do anything. With that much only Raktabija and Kumbhakarna, all they fought in their life against Satvika Shakti. So that is apara. Bhumi, apaha, naru, vayu, kham, manaha, buddhidevacha, ahankara iti yame bhinna prakriti. This small consideration causes all type of psychosynthesis problem, my friends, now. And with this apara prakriti, it is overplayed now. In the name of science and technology, he overplayed this apara prakriti. That is why what we have done, buddhi already God has given, so that we have become so-called educated people, sakshara. And sakshara viparita, adverse. So that sakshara rakshasa. So-called modern education people, sakshara. They are sakshara, no doubt. But viparita, adverse, so that by nature they are rakshasas. This is another problem. This sakshara rakshasa problem. And you see our great technocrats, they great engineers from America, from China, they are in loggerhead, just to win over the whole sea of humanity, just to conquer the whole nature and the whole human wealth, whole wealth of Mother Nature. How much I can suck wealth from the nature? How can I assert my winning victory over? That is why many countries, all G7 countries, G20, G7, all they are in this type of cutthroat competition. See what is this? Our great people, Mahatmas, they have warned it. Even great historians, they have warned it. If this chase, this so-called technological, scientific race If it rushes endlessly, it will take us to the doomsday. That is what many great Mahatmas, including great scientists like our Stephen Hawkins and Einstein also warned. Many people have told like that. But Indian rishis, they have warned. That is what all these Kara, Dushana, Trishira, Ravana, and all these Rakshasas, why they are Rakshasas? They are highly well educated people, highly qualified people. Why they are Rakshasas? Because they want to destroy. Kara, Dushana, Trishira, three people with 14 demons, big army of terrorists. Ravana kept them in Janasthana on the bank of Godavari. And their main task was to destroy all Gurukulas there. Gurukulas of Bharadwaja, Gurukulas of Sharabhanga, Gurukulas of Agastya, Gurukul, all were there on the bank of Godavari, Chitrakuta and Panchavati, that area. So they have done that one. So Rama could know that. So all those terrorists, all Talibanis, all such people were eliminated by Rama. So that he could re-establish Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. He could bring back. So all 13 years Rama could spend his Vanavasa for this constructive purpose, rejuvenating Gurukula Shiksha. And all that episode starting from Shurpanakha and Ravana and Yuddha and all these, they only happened in 1 year duration. See, that is why this Sakshara and Rakshasa complex, we have problem. So that when this apara, our personality, not plugged to that para, that supreme consciousness, whether you call it Parashiva or Purushottama or Surya, Ganapati, Ambika, Shiva, Vishnu, all these gods, supreme gods, if you don't plug to that consciousness, divine consciousness in English, then you become apara. This apara overplayed. That we call it great diploma course, great engineering course, this, that is what we brand it. But there what we study, only apara. For example, your economics. What do you study? So you have unlimited desires, sources are limited, then what to do? So that you must go for tricky place just to establish your supremacy, or just to satisfy your family members and get so much money and have increase your bank balance. So dharmika paddhati you cannot adopt. So that you must go for this tricky Artha Shastra. And now tricky Artha Shastra, tricky Kama Shastra, it has destroyed Dharma Shastra. So Dharma has no place. Krishna has warned it. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshava. He warned there only. That but we have not taken that. That is why this overplay of Ashtadha Prakriti, it misled the whole so-called modern psyche, modern man. And we are all great, we are double graduates, double PhDs, double what not. All those awards, this, that. So everyone wants to suppress someone and establish his supremacy. At the cost of someone's downfall, we want to establish our supremacy. What is this so-called modern society? You tell me. Now, so not only in politics, this type of devil dawns. Now it is in its peak. Devil dawns, I call it. But in education also same type of devil dawns. Overplay of apara prakriti. In whether you take education or family life or social life, everywhere this type of competition going on. Why it is not plugged to that higher power center? That is the main problem. So with this today's Bhagavad Gita synthesis we start. When we make it separated, modern psychology people they separated it. They never accept this consciousness, awareness, Atma, consciousness, its existence. Only after so much study in the so-called modern time, Eric Fromm and so many so-called modern psychologists, they started to think it about consciousness. So that sane society, concept of sane society, he started to think about. So that Eric Fromm, another modern psychologist, he wrote 2 books. Very good it is. Good beginning at least. Because he was a little bit influenced by Indian Upanishads and all this. Like that, even Freud's student Carl Jung also, just he came out of that shell of Sigmund Freud's psychoanalysis. So, because he could know something about Indian scriptures, those who were influenced by Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, many great scholars like Emerson, Will Durant, many scholars. And Eric Fromm also, he was like that, so that he wrote 2 books. One is Art of Loving, another one is Sane, S-A-N-E, Sane Society. Now our society is insane society. Every family becoming insane because no harmony, squabbling and quarreling. Then it becomes what is it? Boiling and burning center. Every house now. So that we want that Shanti, Samadhana, counseling, Santa. It is called Santvana. Santvana Samvada, we call it. Consoling. Consoling. What to say now? Every person wants now in all so-called advanced counseling. It's called. Counseling actually Santvana Samvada. That is what Krishna has done. That is what Aruni has done to his son. Shvetaketu, he was boiling and burning young man, complaining against his professors. Like that, many. In our Puranas, in our Upanishads, we find many such people, boiling and burning minds. But all these great people, like Sanaka Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, Sanat Sujata, and Aruni, and Pippalada, and so great masters in the Upanishads, they were all counselors. Santvana Samvada, they were expert in that. Krishna also has done same Santvana Samvada, counseling to Partha. So here we take up this apara para, proper understanding. Para is that supreme consciousness. There we have to plug. This plugging technique is very much important for us. So whether you are in your own house or in your work field, you plug to some high power centers. That's all. So that Krishna, Patanjali also says, Ekatatvabhyasa. Tat pratishedhartham ekatatvabhyasa. Patanjali Yoga Sutram. Ekatattva means one mission. One man, one mission, one belief, unshakable belief. So that belief, this is my family tradition. My forefathers were like that. I also must take up the same lineage of my family lineage, and I must be committed. If this much humble submission. If you conduct your life journey, certainly you can maintain your family tradition. Your family also will be full of understanding, and there will be no squabbling or quarreling, so that wife, husband, children, all they will be happy, talking to each other face to face, eye to eye. Now eye to eye talking also very difficult in our families. Only their eyes are fixed on TV. So talking and sharing and caring, that is called Santvana Samvada. That Samvada now continues. And Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti, just one important keyword I have shared with you. And next one, very important thing is, I already told, Dharma Viruddha Kama. Unquenchable desires we have now. If that one desire quenched, another means hundreds of such rise, then where there will be stoppage? No. That is what happening. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವೇ ಓದುವ ಮೈಂಡ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಈ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಯಾತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಮುಂದಿನ ಭಾನುವಾರ ದಿನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೂ ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆರ್ತೋ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು ಅರ್ಥಾರ್ಥಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತ ಮನುಷ್ಯರನ್ನ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಇದು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾವುದನ್ನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಇದೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಆಗಿ, ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ, ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾವಾದಿಗಳಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಪರಂಪರಾ ಯುಗಾನುಕೂಲ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡದ್ದು. ಯುಗಾನುಕೂಲವಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಚತುರ್ವಿಧ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಆರ್ತಃ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಆರ್ತರು, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಬಲ್, ಡಿಸೀಸ್ಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು, ನೀವುಗೆಲ್ಲ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸುಗಳು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಭಟ್ರು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ತಾಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಪರೋಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ತುಂಬ ಆಯಾ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತರು ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಜನಸೇವಾದ ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತಿಯ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು, ನನ್ನ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮೀಯರು, ನಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರಕರು, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಜಿ ಎನ್ ಭಟ್ರು, ಇಂಥವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಿರೋದು. ಇಂತಹ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪರಸ್ಪರವಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸಂವಾದ ನಡೆಸುವಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷಕರವಾದದ್ದು. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಭಾನುವಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಒಂದೆರಡು ವಾಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೂ ನಾನು ಆರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಯುವರ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವೈರೀಸ್, ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ಯುವರ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್, we can develop it. Nothing is structured. It is very much freely projected pathway. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ನಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆನಂದವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಈ ಗೀತಾ ಸಂವಾದ ನಡಿಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಜುನ ಅನೇಕ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾವು ಹಾಗೆ ನಗ್ತಾ ಸಂವಾದ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಪರಸ್ಪರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ವಿನಿಮಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮುನ್ನಡೀತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅನೇಕರೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು MSc ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ತಿರೋರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಹೀಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಸಂವಾದ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋಣ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಜುನರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಸಂವಾದ ಹೊರತು ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಸಂವಾದ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಸಂವಾದದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಶುಭಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ. ಲೋಕಾಃ ಸಮಸ್ತಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಓಂ ಯತ್ರ ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರಃ ಕೃಷ್ಣಃ ಯತ್ರ ಪಾರ್ಥೋ ಧನುರ್ಧರಃ ತತ್ರ ಶ್ರೀಃ ವಿಜಯಃ ಭೂತಿಃ ಧ್ರುವಾ ನೀತಿಃ ಮತಿರ್ಮಮ. ಓಂ ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ सर्वे निरामयाः. You can join. सर्वे भद्राणि
सर्वे पश्यन्तु मा
कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्.
भवेत्।
ॐ शान्ति
शान्ति शान्ति
शान्ति.
शान्तिः.
ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವಾಗಿ ಕಾಯ್ತೇನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ತಮ ಉದಾತ್ತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಸಜ್ಜುಗೊಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಓಂ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ.
ಮುಂದಿನ ವಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಿಗೋಣ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
तुझ्या संगत झोपायचं आहे. तुझ्या संगट